12 life-changing declarations to say every morning. Master your mind, command your day, build a legacy. Every morning, the world resets. The sky lightens, the clock restarts, and with it, you are given a sacred gift, a new chance. Not just to wake up, but to rise. Not just to exist, but to lead. And in this quiet hour before the world gets loud, before the demands of the day press in, you must decide, will I lead my mind or will I be led by it? You don't need more time, more resources, or even more talent. You need clarity. You need power. And that power begins with what you say to yourself before anything else is said to you. It's time to reclaim that power. It's time to declare with unshakable certainty the truths that build greatness. Here are 12 declarations that, when spoken each morning, will shift the course of your thoughts, your emotions, your choices, and ultimately, your life. I am the master of my mind, claiming inner authority and living from the inside out. Before your feet even touch the ground each morning, there is a decision waiting to be made, a silent, sacred decision that most people overlook. And it is this: who runs your mind today? Will it be the outside world with its noise and demands? Will it be the ghosts of yesterday with their regrets and wounds? Will it be fear? Will it be doubt? Or will it be you? This question matters more than we dare admit, because the one who commands the mind commands the day, and the one who commands the day shapes the life. The forgotten truth. Too many of us walk through life unaware of this truth. We are not our thoughts. We are the thinkers of our thoughts. We are not helpless recipients of mental traffic. We are the architects of it. Yet we let our minds drift like boats without oars, tossed by every wave of emotion, every whisper of insecurity, every passing shadow of someone else's opinion. We confuse movement with meaning, noise with truth, fear with fact. And in doing so, we surrender the throne of our consciousness. But what if, starting today, you step back onto that throne? What if you chose, deliberately and consciously, to direct your mental energy with the same discipline a pilot uses to steer a plane, or a sculptor uses to carve beauty from stone? You own the command center. Your mind is not a storage unit for every fear you've ever felt or every lie you've ever heard. Your mind is the command center of your destiny. The thoughts you allow in are not just abstract notions floating in space. They are the blueprints of your reality. They are the seeds. And every seed you plant takes root. Consider this. Would a wise gardener plant weeds? Would a carpenter allow termites in his wood? Would an artist smear mud on the canvas before painting? Then why? Why do we so carelessly allow thoughts of self-doubt, fear, jealousy, and regret to occupy the sacred space of our minds? Let it be known, your mind is sacred ground, and it is your job, no one else's, to protect it, to cultivate it, and to direct it toward what is true, what is empowering, what is aligned with the life you desire. The power of inner authority. When you say, I am the master of my mind, you're not simply offering yourself a feel-good affirmation. You are declaring war on passivity. You are drawing a line in the sand between chaos and clarity, between reaction and response, between being pulled by the world and being led by purpose. You are saying, I no longer give my emotional state to the hands of others. I do not allow yesterday's failure to decide today's potential. I will not be a prisoner of fear disguised as logic. I choose the thoughts I allow to live in me. This is not about ignoring reality. It's about interpreting reality with power. Because life is not just what happens to you. It is how you respond to what happens. And your response is born in the arena of thought. The danger of mental drift. A man who does not master his mind will be mastered by it. If you do not steer your thoughts, they will drift toward the path of least resistance, toward fear, toward comparison, toward distraction, toward limitation. Why? Because the mind, left unchecked, will revert to survival mode. It will focus on threats, it will chase validation, it will avoid risk, and it will settle for the familiar, even if the familiar is painful. That is why people stay in toxic relationships, dead-end jobs, and self-destructive patterns. Not because they want to suffer, but because they've never taken full ownership of their thinking. To master your mind is not to control every thought that enters, but to decide which thoughts you entertain and which you escort to the door. Morning is the battleground. Each morning is a battleground. Not with others, not with tasks, but with yourself. The early hours are when your mind is most vulnerable and most powerful. That's why what you say, think, and believe in those first few moments sets the tone for your entire day. Do not waste that sacred window checking social media, scrolling headlines, or absorbing negativity. Instead, start with clarity. Start with strength. Start with truth. Speak these words, not out of habit, but out of conviction. I am the master of my mind. My thoughts serve me. I do not serve them. This declaration reclaims your sovereignty. The shift begins inside. Imagine walking through your day with this level of internal power. A colleague criticizes you, you pause, evaluate the feedback with calm, and respond, not react. Traffic is slow. Instead of rage, you use the moment to breathe, to reflect, to listen to an empowering message. A plan falls apart, you adapt, you adjust. Not because you're numb, but because your inner world is not chained to outer outcomes. This is what happens when you master your mind. You move through the world with grounded strength. You become a mountain, not a leaf in the wind. What mastery looks like. To master your mind doesn't mean you never have a negative thought again. It means you recognize it, challenge it, and replace it before it takes root. You become vigilant, a guardian of your own greatness. You ask yourself, is this thought helping or hurting? Would I give this thought to someone I love? Does this belief belong to me? Or was it handed down by someone who stopped believing in themselves? And most of all, does this thought build the life I want? The invitation. So now, the invitation is yours to accept or ignore. You can drift with the tide of distractions and limiting beliefs, or you can rise above them. You can continue living as a reactor or step into the role of creator. You can repeat the thoughts of the past or forge new patterns that lead to a future worth living for. Start with one sentence. Let it become your internal anthem. I am the master of my mind. Speak it slowly. Breathe it in. Let it settle not just in your mind, but in your identity. Because once you become that master, the world changes. Not because it's easier, but because you are stronger. You are focused. You are intentional. You are free. And from that place, there is no limit to what you can build. Choose definite purpose. Living with intention in a world of distraction. Each morning you wake up, you are presented with one of the most powerful and most overlooked opportunities of your life. The chance to choose purpose. Not vague hope, not wishful thinking, not aimless motion, but clear, definite, intentional purpose. Because here's the hard truth. Drifting is the default, and drifting is deadly, not to the body, but to the spirit. The cost of drifting. Drifting may feel harmless in the moment. You answer a few emails, you scroll a little, you jump from one task to another, following wherever urgency or distraction leads. But at the end of the day, something inside feels hollow. Time passed, but nothing moved. Hours were spent, but little was built, and it's easy to rationalize. It was a busy day. But deep down, you know what happened. You didn't lead the day. You followed it. You didn't act with clarity. You reacted with habit. And the cost? Over time, it's massive. Dreams delayed, energy drained, talents unused, days that blur together in a fog of half-finished priorities. Drifting is not just a failure of productivity, it's a failure of intention. The power of choosing purpose. Now contrast that with a different kind of day, one where you woke up and declared, today I choose definite purpose. Today I lead, I build, I decide. You didn't wait to feel ready. You didn't wait for motivation. You defined what mattered. And because you defined it, everything shifted. You walked differently. You spoke with clarity. You said no to the unimportant because you had said yes to the meaningful. Purpose doesn't require perfection. It requires direction. Purpose is a decision, not a discovery. Most people wait to find their purpose, as if it's hiding under a rock or buried in a book. But purpose is not something you stumble upon. It's something you declare. Purpose is not something handed to you. It's something you claim. And it doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be final. It just has to be clear for today. So ask yourself, what do I intend to accomplish today that moves me forward toward the life I want, the person I want to be, the legacy I want to leave? Your purpose can be practical. Don't romanticize it. Purpose doesn't always look like some heroic mission or world-changing dream. Sometimes it looks like finishing that report you've avoided, making 5 difficult phone calls, practicing your skill for 90 focused minutes, spending uninterrupted time with your child, your spouse, yourself, cleaning your space to restore clarity to your mind. Purpose is not the size of the task, it's clarity of the choice. The smallest action done with intention outweighs 100 actions done on autopilot. Why most people don't choose purpose? There's a reason why so many people don't live with purpose. It's because purpose demands responsibility. When you choose your purpose, you must confront your excuses. You must stop blaming circumstances. You must look yourself in the mirror and say, today is mine. What I do with it is on me. That's not easy. It's much more comfortable to blame distractions, to claim you're too busy, to say you're figuring it out. But deep down, you know, purpose isn't waiting for the perfect time. It's waiting for your permission. Stop waiting for life to slow down. Stop waiting for perfect clarity. Choose something now. Anything. Choose it fully. Own it. Then move. Purpose creates a filter. When you live with definite purpose, you create a powerful filter. Suddenly, you know what to say yes to. You know what to say no to. You stop chasing everything and start building something. Clarity kills chaos. Focus ends fatigue. Purpose protects your energy. Think of your life as a construction site. Every day is a chance to lay a brick. If you don't know what you're building, your bricks get scattered. Nothing takes shape. But when you choose purpose, even if it's just one wall, one section, one layer, you start to feel momentum. Purpose turns time into investment. Without purpose, time is spent. With purpose, time is invested. 1 hour with purpose can change your life more than 10 hours without it. You could work 10 hours today, answer every message, check every notification, attend every meeting, and still feel like nothing moved. Or you could spend 1 hour with laser focus on what actually matters and walk away knowing that today mattered. That's the gift of purpose. It turns ordinary hours into extraordinary progress. Your morning declaration. That's why every morning, before you pick up your phone, before the world makes demands, you must choose. Say it aloud. Let it echo in your mind and your chest. Today, I choose definite purpose. Don't just say it. Define it. Today, I will complete the final draft. Today, I will make 5 meaningful calls. Today, I will speak up, follow through, show up. Today, I will live with intention. Don't wait for clarity. Declare it, and let that declaration shape your day. What happens when you live with purpose? When you choose purpose every morning, your decisions get easier. Your energy feels stronger. Your confidence grows steadily. You stop comparing. You stop drifting. You start becoming. You begin to trust yourself because you follow through. You start to feel the power of being in alignment, of living on your terms, not the world's autopilot. The world begins to respond differently, not because it changed, but because it did, in the end. At the end of the day, the question is not, was I busy? The real question is, did I live with purpose? Did I direct my time toward what truly matters? Did I move even a little toward the life I envision? Did I choose action over avoidance, clarity over chaos, purpose over passivity? That's all that counts. Not perfection, not popularity, not how full your calendar was, just this. Did you lead your life, or did you let it lead you? So tomorrow morning and every morning after, stand tall and speak with conviction. Today I choose definite purpose. And then live like you mean it. Because your life is too precious to drift, and your greatness is too real to waste. I am unshakable, finding inner stillness in a world of storms. There will be days when the wind howls, when the deal falls through, when the stranger is cruel, when the unexpected detour throws your whole plan off course. Life, without apology, will shake the ground beneath your feet. But here's the truth. The strong have always known. You do not need the world to be calm for you to be centered. You do not need circumstances to be perfect to feel peace inside. You only need one thing, the unwavering belief that you determine your inner state, not the traffic, not the economy, not the behavior of others. Say it now. Say it with power. I am grounded. I am centered. I am unshakable. The illusion of control. Most people live under an illusion, the belief that life must behave before they can be at peace. That if everyone just acted right, if things went according to plan, if the environment cooperated, then they could be happy. Then they could relax. Then they could lead. But here's the brutal wisdom of life. You control very little. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control another person's mood. You cannot control every outcome. But what you can control is your response. You can control the strength of your center. The world outside may shake, but inside you build something solid, something still, something unshakable. The power of presence. When chaos strikes, the average person panics, they react, they spiral, they allow their emotions to dictate their choices. But the uncommon person, the grounded one, the leader, they breathe, they pause, they assess, they remain present. That's what makes them powerful. Not that they are immune to stress, but that they do not surrender to it. You've seen it before. A leader in crisis, a firefighter, a parent, a soldier, calm, composed, not because the moment isn't urgent, but because they know that reaction feeds chaos, while presence creates clarity. You have that same power. It is not reserved for the few. It is cultivated through choice, becoming the eye of the storm. The most powerful force in nature is not found in violence. It is found in stillness amidst it. Think of a hurricane, all around it, swirling winds, chaos, destruction, but in the center, silence, the eye of the storm. Be that eye. Let the noise rage around you. Let life throw its challenges. Let people misjudge you, plans fail, delays come, but do not let them inside. You are the still point in a turning world. You say, I do not match energy, I rise above it, I do not react with noise, I respond with wisdom, I do not crumble when tested, I anchor deeper. Reclaiming emotional authority. You may have been told you're too emotional, too sensitive, or that you need to toughen up. But unshakable doesn't mean emotionless. It means emotionally sovereign. It means your emotions are guests, not rulers. They arrive, you listen, and then you choose. You choose not to lash out. You choose not to spiral. You choose not to internalize someone else's wound as your identity. You realize that rude stranger, they're not a threat. They're a reflection of their own storm. That delay in your schedule, not a disaster, just a redirection. That failure, not a judgment on your worth, but an invitation to grow. Everything changes when you stop letting things happen to you and start letting them refine you. Calm is a superpower. In a reactive, hyperstimulated world, calm is rebellion. Calm is rare. Calm is strength. Imagine walking into a room and carrying stillness with you. People notice. You don't talk louder, you speak with weight. You don't rush, you move with certainty. You're not easily provoked because you're rooted, grounded, present. That's unshakable energy, and it's magnetic because people don't follow the loudest voice. They follow the one who knows where they're going, the one who holds stillness when others lose theirs. How to cultivate inner grounding. So how do you become unshakable? It doesn't happen by accident. It happens by practice, daily. Here are 4 tools to build your inner stillness. 1. Morning anchoring. Begin your day not with chaos, but with command. Breathe deeply. Speak truth over your mind. Before the world tells you who you are, remind yourself. Say, I am unshakable. I am grounded. I choose how I feel today. 2. Mental reframing. When something goes wrong, pause and ask, what else could this mean? Every setback has a hidden gift if you choose to look for it. 3. Emotional audit. Check in with yourself. What am I feeling? Is this mine or did I absorb it? Name the emotion. Own it. Then choose the state you want to live in. 4. Physical presence. Your body affects your mind. Stand tall, breathe deep, slow down, walk with intention. Posture is not just appearance, it's psychology. Unshakable is not perfect. It's rooted. Don't confuse being unshakable with being emotionless, robotic, or indifferent. You're still human. You still feel pain, disappointment, grief. But what sets you apart is this: you feel deeply, you respond wisely, you never lose the core of who you are. Even in chaos, your values remain intact. Even in pressure, your vision stays clear. Even in failure, your identity holds firm. Imagine the unshakable version of you. Close your eyes and picture it. You receive criticism and you stay composed. You hear bad news and you respond with calm clarity. Someone tries to provoke you and you simply smile, unbothered, unmoved. Plans fall apart, but your mindset doesn't. This is not fantasy. It is a choice. A choice made in the small moments, repeated over time until calm becomes your default, not your exception. Say it, live it, speak it now. Speak it like a promise to yourself. I am grounded. I am centered. I am unshakable. Let that truth become the foundation you walk on. Let it shape how you speak, how you lead, how you respond to life. And when the next storm comes, and it will, you will not be the one who is swept away. You will be the one who stands, still, rooted, strong, unshakable. I am not controlled by the past. Releasing what was to embrace what can be. There is a moment, often quiet, often hidden, when a person decides, I will no longer live my life backward. Not in denial, not in avoidance, but in freedom. Because until that moment, most people are not really living today. They are reliving yesterday. They carry it like an invisible weight on their backs. Every mistake, every betrayal, every regret, dragging it into the present, allowing it to color their choices, dim their courage, and shrink their dreams. But the truth is this: the past only holds power if you give it permission. It is not your jailer unless you hand it the key. So today, let this be your declaration. I am not controlled by the past. I am free from the weight of what was. I choose what will be. The past is a place of reference, not residence. Yes, your past is part of your story, but it is not your sentence. It is not your final chapter. It is not your identity. We've all made mistakes. We've all been wounded. We've all trusted the wrong people, said the wrong thing, or failed at something we cared about. That is the nature of being human. But you were not born to live in a loop of guilt, shame, and sorrow. The rearview mirror in a car is small for a reason, because it is only meant to glance back. Your windshield is wide, vast, and full of possibility. Life is meant to be driven forward. If you keep staring backward, you'll miss what's ahead. If you cling to who you were, you'll never become who you're meant to be. There is no healing in endless replay. Reflection is powerful. Obsession is poison. Ask yourself, how many moments have I missed because I was mentally trapped in a time that no longer exists? How many opportunities did I avoid because I believed I wasn't worthy because of something that happened 5 years ago or something someone said when I was a child? Here's a liberating truth. You don't need to forget the past to be free of it. You just need to stop feeding it. Let it teach you, not trap you. Let it refine you, not define you. You are not your past mistakes. Say this out loud. I am not what I did. I am what I choose now. Too many people wrap their identity around their failures. They say, I'm a failure. No, you experienced failure. That's different. They say, I'm broken. No, you were hurt, but you're healing. The mistake is not the end, it's the middle. The wrong turn was part of the path, not the conclusion. Every scar you carry is proof not of your weakness, but of your strength. You're still here. You're still fighting, still learning, still becoming. You are not what others did to you. And maybe your pain wasn't your doing. Maybe you were betrayed, abandoned, dismissed. Someone else's actions wounded you deeply. And that pain is real. But you must not let the actions of others become the architecture of your future. You are not what they did. You are not how they treated you. You are not the name they called you, the limits they spoke over you, or the version of you they could not see. You get to decide now who you are, not them. You get to rebuild from the ashes, stronger, wiser, clearer. Why we hold on. Sometimes we hold on to the past because we think we need it to protect us. If I remember the pain, I won't be hurt again. If I stay angry, I stay in control. If I replay it, maybe I can understand why it happened. But the truth is, holding on doesn't protect you. It prevents you. It keeps your hands full of what no longer serves you, leaving no room to receive what life wants to give you now. Forgiveness is not weakness. Letting go is not forgetfulness. It's strength. It's wisdom. It's power. It's saying what happened no longer decides what happens next. Your power is in the present. The past is a shadow. The future is a vision. The only place you hold real power is here, now, this moment, this breath, this choice. Every time you choose growth over guilt, presence over pain, peace over resentment, you reclaim a little more of your life. This is not about pretending everything's okay. It's about deciding, even if it wasn't okay back then, I get to create something beautiful from it now. Your pain can become wisdom. Your regret can become fuel. Your past can become your teacher, but it must never again be your master. So today and every day, remind yourself, I am not controlled by the past. Let it echo louder than the voices of shame. Let it rise above the noise of regret. Let it become your new identity. I am not defined by what happened. I am not limited by who I used to be. I am not bound by memories I no longer need. I am free. Right now, you are holding the pen and the page before you is blank. You can write something new, something bold, something healing. The chapters behind you may be filled with pain, confusion, even darkness, but your next chapter is unwritten. And it begins not with a new environment, not with a new relationship, but with a new declaration. I choose what will be. You choose joy, you choose purpose, you choose forgiveness. You choose to stop dragging yesterday into tomorrow. Because you were never meant to live on rewind. You were meant to rise. Final words, you are not broken, you are becoming. You are not lost, you are learning. You are not your past, you are your present power and your future possibility. So walk forward, head high, heart open. Let your story continue, not as a victim of what was, but as the author of what's next. Say it one more time. I am not controlled by the past. I am free from the weight of what was. I choose what will be. And now live like it's true, because it is. My emotions are my allies, not my enemies, turning inner storms into strength. There's a story you may have been told, maybe quietly, maybe directly, maybe even by your own inner voice. Don't feel too much. Don't cry. Don't be angry. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. And so, like many, you learn to suppress, to hide, to pretend. You were taught that emotions are messy, that they're dangerous, that strength means shutting them down, that composure means becoming numb. But that story, it's false. You are not broken because you feel deeply. You are powerful because you do. And even more powerful because you can choose how to channel what you feel. Let this be your new declaration. My emotions are my allies, not my enemies. I feel, I process, and I respond with wisdom. The truth about emotions. Emotions are not flaws in your system. They are feedback. Anger is not the problem. It is the red light flashing. A boundary has been crossed. Fear is not weakness. It is your system whispering, here is where you feel uncertain. Invest attention. Sadness is not defeat. It is a signal, something mattered, and it is time to release or reframe. When you begin to listen, truly listen to your emotions, not judge them or silence them, something profound happens. They stop controlling you. They start guiding you. You are not a slave to emotion. There's a difference between feeling an emotion and being ruled by it. Yes, you can feel intense anger without lashing out. You can feel deep sadness without falling into despair. You can feel fear and still move forward with courage. The most grounded people are not those who feel less. They are those who have built a relationship with their emotions. They don't run from discomfort. They lean into it, learn from it, and emerge clearer, stronger, wiser. This is emotional mastery, not absence of emotion, but awareness and agency. Feel, process. Let this become your rhythm. I feel. I allow the emotion to rise. I name it. I don't shame it. I don't judge myself for being human. I process. I pause. I breathe. I ask, what is this emotion trying to show me? What's beneath it? I let it speak, not react, not explode, not suppress. I respond with wisdom, with intention, with alignment to who I want to be. This is the difference between letting your emotions run wild like fire and using them as fuel. Emotions as fuel. When your emotions align with your vision, they become your superpower. Anger, channeled well, becomes the fire that sparks change. It gives you courage to speak, to protect, to build boundaries. Fear, understood, becomes the compass that shows you where your growth lies. It wakes you up. It demands clarity. Sadness, embraced, becomes the doorway to healing, to letting go, to deeper connection with yourself and others. Joy, celebrated, becomes expansion, reminding you what matters and what to fight for. No emotion is random. No emotion is meaningless. Everyone is a message, a mirror, a gift, if you are willing to receive it. Why we resist emotion. So why do so many of us fear our feelings? Because we were never taught to work with them. We were taught to be tough, to be efficient, to stay strong. We were told, stop crying, don't be so sensitive, get over it. And so we locked those feelings away. We called them bad. We wore a mask, we functioned, but we stopped feeling. But function is not freedom. You cannot grow numb to pain without also growing numb to joy. You cannot silence fear without muting your own intuition. The truth is, you can't heal what you refuse to feel. And you can't access your full power while running from the core of who you are. Emotional intelligence is leadership. Whether you lead a business, a family, a creative path, or just your own life, emotional intelligence is non-negotiable. The leaders who last are not the ones who suppress emotion. They are the ones who stay steady within it. They don't deny tension. They manage it. They don't avoid conflict. They navigate it with awareness and presence. You don't have to keep it together by pretending. You keep it together by processing emotions fully and responding wisely. The strongest room is not the one with no cracks. It's the one with a solid foundation, even when pressure comes. The body remembers what the mind tries to forget. Unprocessed emotion doesn't disappear. It buries itself in your body. It shows up as tension, anxiety, exhaustion. It leaks out in sarcasm, in overreactions, in shutdowns. But when you sit with it, when you allow yourself to feel, to journal, to talk, to cry, to move through it, you create emotional flow instead of emotional blockage. You let the river move. You don't dam it. You trust that no emotion lasts forever, but every emotion teaches something if you allow it to. From emotional chaos to emotional clarity. So here is the shift. From suppression to understanding. From reaction to response. From fear of emotion to friendship with emotion. Start small. Next time anger rises, don't just push it down. Ask, what boundary was crossed? What value feels violated? Next time fear whispers, listen. What part of me needs assurance, not avoidance? Next time sadness surfaces, hold space. What part of me needs permission to grieve, to release, to renew? When you do this over and over again, you become anchored, not reactive. You become emotionally sovereign. And from that place, your decisions, your relationships, your clarity all transform. Say it again. Say it like a vow to yourself. My emotions are not enemies. They are allies. I feel, I process, and I respond with wisdom. Say it when you're overwhelmed. Say it when you're triggered. Say it when you're tempted to shut down or blow up. Let it ground you, guide you, grow you. Because emotional strength is not about never feeling. It's about feeling deeply and still choosing the most powerful path forward. In closing, you were never meant to be a slave to your emotions, nor a stranger to them. You were meant to know them, lead them, and rise through them, to feel without drowning, to express without exploding, to process without freezing, and most of all, to use your emotions as tools of truth, as bridges to wisdom, as compass points toward purpose. So today and every day, remember, your emotions are not weakness, they are awareness, they are movement, they are strength when you listen. I am disciplined in thought and action. From intention to completion, the power of daily self-mastery. Dreams are beautiful. Ideas are inspiring. Ambition is noble. But none of them, not one, has power without discipline. We live in a world obsessed with motivation. Videos, quotes, quick hits of inspiration. And sure, motivation is useful. It's the spark, the emotional ignition. But sparks don't build bridges. Sparks don't build businesses. Sparks don't transform lives. Discipline does, daily, quietly, relentlessly. So say it, not as a wish, but as a decision. I am disciplined in thought and action. I do not need motivation. I have discipline. Because in the end, motivation may start the journey, but discipline gets you to the finish line. The illusion of waiting to feel ready. How many times have you delayed action, waiting for the right mood, the perfect timing, or a magical burst of motivation? But motivation is a feeling, and feelings are fickle. Some days you wake up energized, other days you don't. Discipline doesn't care. Discipline acts anyway. Discipline says, this matters. I do it whether I feel like it or not. Discipline says, my future is too important to be left in the hands of emotion. Discipline says, I don't rise to the level of my feelings. I rise to the level of my standards. Thoughts create reality. Discipline shapes them. Discipline begins not with action, but with thought. Disciplined thought is refusing to indulge in mental clutter. It's catching the self-doubt before it takes root. It's noticing when your inner voice says, maybe later, and replying, no, now. You don't just discipline your schedule, you discipline your mind. That means replacing "I'll try" with "I will." Replacing "it's too hard" with "this is the price of greatness." Replacing "I'm tired" with "I'm capable and I finish what I start." Thoughts shape behavior, and behavior builds destiny. So guard your thoughts like a warrior guards a gate. Let nothing inside that weakens your edge. Every choice is a vote. Discipline isn't one grand act. It's 1,000 small decisions. It's choosing water over soda, the gym over the couch, the book over the phone, the hard conversation over avoidance. Each decision is a vote for the person you're becoming. And the beauty is this: discipline compounds. Like interest in a bank account, every moment you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, it stacks, it builds, it strengthens your identity. Suddenly, you're not someone who tries to be disciplined. You are disciplined. It's who you are. It's in your bloodstream. It's in your posture, your habits, your words. Discipline is freedom. It may sound like a paradox, but it's true. The more disciplined you are, the more freedom you gain. Freedom from chaos, freedom from regret, freedom from that terrible voice in your head that says you could have done more. When you master discipline, you no longer fear the day ahead because you know you'll show up no matter what. You no longer fear failure because you know you'll learn and adjust. You no longer fear success because you know you have the foundation to sustain it. Discipline gives you power, quiet confidence. How discipline is built. Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's built like a muscle. Step 1, start small. Don't wait to overhaul your life. Start with a 5-minute task. Start with a single morning ritual. Start with one promise, then keep it. Step 2, create structure. Discipline thrives in environments designed for success. Schedule it, prepare for it. Make the right choice easier to follow than the wrong one. Step 3, anticipate resistance. You will feel tempted to quit. You will feel the pull of comfort, but that's not a reason to stop. That's the very moment discipline is forged. Step 4, focus on identity, not outcomes. Don't just say, "I want to write a book." Say, "I am a disciplined writer." Outcomes are goals. Identity is transformation. Become the type of person who keeps showing up. Discipline in action looks like showing up to your workout, even on the days you feel tired, finishing your work before scrolling your feed, saying no to the short-term comfort that sabotages long-term greatness, sticking to your word even when no one is watching, repeating the basics until they become brilliance. Discipline doesn't need applause. It doesn't need motivation speeches. It doesn't need ideal conditions. It only needs your decision. What happens when you live this way? When discipline becomes your default, everything changes. You don't panic in chaos. You follow your system. You don't wonder if you're on track. You know you are. You don't rely on hype. You rely on habit. You stop chasing motivation. You stop doubting your path. You stop starting over because now you finish. And most of all, you begin to trust yourself. Not because things are easy, but because you've proven you do what must be done. That kind of trust, it's unshakable. That kind of identity, it's unstoppable. Your new mantra, say it out loud. Say it when you wake up. Say it when you're tempted to delay, to quit, to do it later. I am disciplined in thought and action. I don't need to feel like it. I do it because I said I would. My habits shape my future. My choices build my destiny. Say it until it becomes more than words, until it becomes who you are. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's gritty. It's daily. It's often boring. But make no mistake, it's the force that turns wishes into wins, goals into growth, and potential into power. So when the world says, take it easy, you say, I'm building something. When your feelings say, not today, you say, today is exactly the day I grow stronger. Let others live in cycles. You live by design. Let others wait to feel ready. You act with resolve because you don't just have dreams, you have discipline, and that changes everything. My focus is a weapon. In a world of noise, I choose precision. Distraction is the enemy of greatness. And make no mistake, the world is designed to distract you. The modern environment doesn't just offer noise, it manufactures it. Notifications, headlines, opinions, outrage, endless scrolling, endless comparison. Every moment, something is competing for your attention, begging you to abandon your mission. But you You are no ordinary wanderer. You are not here to drift. You are here to build, to create, to complete. And for that, focus is not optional. It is sacred. Attention is the new currency. In this digital age, your attention is the most valuable asset you own. Everyone wants a piece of it. Marketers, influencers, companies, even well-meaning friends. If you do not guard it fiercely, it will be scattered before you even realize it's gone. And what happens to a scattered mind? It forgets what it started. It surrenders to mediocrity. It never finishes what it begins. It lives in reaction, not creation. So today you make a different choice. Say it aloud. My focus is a weapon. I guard it like I guard my future. The power of uninterrupted thought. Focus is more than attention. It's presence plus direction. It's the difference between a flashlight and a laser. A flashlight illuminates broadly, but a laser cuts through steel. When you focus, truly focus, you enter a state of flow where ideas align, effort compounds, and distractions fade like background noise. This is where excellence is born, not in bursts of energy, but in sustained, intentional thought. Focus is how the artist finishes the masterpiece, how the athlete trains through pain, how the visionary builds a legacy while others scroll endlessly through someone else's. What you focus on expands. There's a truth that few understand deeply enough. What you focus on grows. If you focus on problems, your world will be full of them. If you focus on possibility, solutions begin to emerge. If you focus on fear, you will hesitate. If you focus on progress, you will move, even if it's 1 inch at a time. Every day you make choices, sometimes unconsciously, about where your attention flows. But once you take command, once you say, I decide what enters and stays in my mental space, everything changes. You stop reacting, you start directing. Guard it like a newborn dream. A newborn dream is fragile. It cannot survive in an environment of noise, doubt, or distraction. It needs space, silence, devotion, attention. Your focus is the womb in which your vision grows. Without it, the dream starves. With it, the dream thrives. So protect your focus like you would a newborn. Don't let pettiness, drama, or shallow distractions poison your mental environment. Don't give screen time the power to steal your soul time. You don't owe anyone constant access to your attention. Your purpose is not a group project. Your greatness is not up for public opinion. Turn down the volume of the world and turn up the volume of your mission. Ruthless elimination of distraction. Focus is not found, it is created. You build it by removing what doesn't belong. Start with your environment, declutter your space, silence your phone, turn off the noise, structure your world to serve your attention, not to scatter it. Then, eliminate the mental distractions. Let go of worrying about what they'll think. Stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone's chapter 20. Quit chasing 10 goals at once. Focus on one that matters deeply. Every yes to a distraction is a no to your destiny, and your destiny deserves better than that. The myth of multitasking. You've heard it before. I'm great at multitasking, but science is clear. Multitasking is not productivity. It's self-sabotage. You don't do multiple things at once. You switch quickly between tasks, exhausting your brain, fragmenting your attention, and diluting your results. The truth is, the deepest work, the boldest moves, and the most meaningful progress all come from singular focus. One task, one target, 1 hour of undivided effort, then repeat. That's how momentum is built. That's how empires rise. That's how purpose becomes reality. Focus requires saying no. Focus is not just about what you do, it's about what you refuse to do. It's saying no to gossip, no to drama, no to busy work that pretends to be progress, no to people who drain and distract, no to chasing every shiny object that steals time but brings no fruit. Because every no to distraction is a yes to your vision. Train focus like a muscle. Focus, like any strength, is trained through repetition. Set blocks of time. Remove distractions, stay in the zone, embrace boredom, finish what you start. And when your mind wanders, and it will, don't judge, don't quit, just bring it back, over and over again. This simple act, bringing your attention back to the task, is the repetition that builds mental strength. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. Own your mental space. This is your mind. Your mental space is your sanctuary. Not everyone gets access. Not every thought gets to stay. You curate what lives there, and today you choose focus. Today, you choose to protect your energy, your clarity, your direction. Say it, nothing will distract me from what matters. My focus is sacred. The builders and the bystanders. At the end of every day, you'll fall into one of two camps: those who built something or those who were distracted. The difference wasn't intelligence. It wasn't luck. It was focus. Did you move the mission forward, or did you allow the world to pull you in 100 directions, achieving little, remembering less? Your dreams deserve your full attention. Your gifts deserve undivided energy. Your future deserves your present focus. In closing, you are not here to be everything to everyone. You are here to be deeply present to what matters most, and that requires choice, discipline, clarity, boundaries. It requires you to treat your focus like a weapon, sharp, sacred, and powerful. So the next time the world tempts you to scroll away your purpose, to drown in noise, to dilute your effort, remember this: you are not average. You are a builder. You are a force. You are focused. And that makes you unstoppable. I am responsible for my energy. How you feel is not chance. It's choice. Energy. It's not just what powers your body. It's what powers your life. It fuels your ambition. It shapes your attitude. It colors every conversation, every goal, every interaction. The quality of your energy becomes the quality of your presence. Yet far too many people walk through life reacting to energy instead of creating it. They blame the weather, the workload, the news, their past, their diet, their relationships, their mood. They wait for the conditions to be perfect. But the truth? You don't wait for energy. You generate it. Say it now. Say it with ownership. I am responsible for my energy. I generate energy. I protect my peace. I elevate my state. Energy is a discipline, not a mystery. Many believe energy is something you either have or don't, that some people are just morning people or naturally upbeat or born with more drive. But energy, real, sustainable, empowered energy, isn't accidental. It's intentional. It's built. It's chosen. It's cultivated by what you do, what you think, what you believe, and how you live. You have more control than you realize. And once you take ownership, everything begins to shift. Because once you stop blaming the outside, you start building from the inside. You are a generator, not a sponge. Let go of the myth that you're at the mercy of your environment. Yes, people around you affect you, circumstances affect you, but they don't decide your energy. You do. You are not a sponge absorbing chaos. You are a generator producing clarity. You choose the food that fuels you or fogs you. You choose the thoughts that elevate you or drain you. You choose the habits that restore your strength or rob your vitality. You choose whether your body becomes an engine or an anchor. Energy begins with awareness. Start here. Ask yourself each morning, what kind of energy do I want to live in today? That simple question shifts you from autopilot to intention. Do you want to be calm, centered, creative, bold, present? Good. Then what actions support that? Because the most energized people don't hope they feel better. They build a day around what nourishes them. They start with rituals, not rush. They breathe deeply, not just scroll endlessly. They hydrate, move, stretch, smile. They curate their state like a sacred responsibility. Protect your peace. Some people lose their energy before the day even begins by waking into noise. The second they open their phone, they let the world dictate how they feel. Messages, tragedies, notifications, opinions, arguments, and just like that, peace is gone. Focus is gone. Energy, scattered. Protect your peace like you'd protect a newborn dream. Protect it from toxic input, from unnecessary drama, from people who drain more than they give. Your energy is your responsibility. That means you don't just guard your time, you guard your state. Say it with conviction. I protect my peace. I don't entertain what drains me. Energy is physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. To take full responsibility for your energy, you must address every layer. 1. Physically. Move your body daily. Nourish it with real food. Sleep like your future depends on it, because it does. Your energy doesn't lie. When your body is neglected, your spirit pays the price. 2. Mentally. What you think becomes how you feel. Train your mind like a warrior trains for battle. Feed it positivity. Interrupt spirals of doubt. Journal, reflect, learn. Mental clutter equals emotional fatigue. 3. Emotionally. Let yourself feel, but don't let feelings hijack your day. Learn to name your emotions, process them, and release them. Avoiding emotion is exhausting. Expressing it with awareness is freeing. For spiritually, whether through prayer, silence, nature, or gratitude, tap into something deeper than deadlines and to-do lists. Energy without alignment becomes anxiety. True vitality comes from knowing your why. You don't need to be loud to be energized. Let's clear up a myth. Being energized doesn't mean being hyper or extroverted. It means being alive, present, intentional. You can be calm and still radiate powerful energy. You can speak softly and still influence the entire room. You can move slowly and still be unstoppable because your direction is unwavering. Energy isn't about volume, it's about vibration. And when you raise your inner frequency, the world responds. Do what energizes your soul. Too many live in a state of quiet burnout, not because they're working too hard, but because they've abandoned what brings them joy. So ask yourself, what brings you back to life? What lights you up, not just mentally, but emotionally? What feels like alignment, not obligation? Maybe it's music, or movement, or creating something with your hands. Maybe it's deep conversations, nature walks, moments of stillness, or spontaneous laughter. Whatever it is, make time for it. Not someday, now. Not because it's selfish, but because it's essential. Your energy doesn't just affect you, it radiates into every person you meet. You don't just carry energy, you share it, you project it. So the best gift you can give others is to vibrate higher. Energy is the new confidence. You want to command a room? Walk in with energy that's clear, aligned, and elevated. You want to lead better? Manage your state before you manage your team. You want to create, connect, inspire? Then fuel the inner fire first, because the way you show up is louder than what you say. The energy you bring becomes the message. Say it like you mean it. This is not just a mantra, it's a promise, a standard, a truth. I am responsible for my energy. I generate it, I protect it, I elevate it. Say it when you wake, say it before every meeting, say it before you enter your home at night, say it when you feel yourself slipping into burnout or numbness. Let it anchor you back to awareness, to choice, to power. In closing, you are not a victim of your mood. You are not a prisoner of your past habits. You are not a puppet pulled by external strings. You are the source. You are the fire. You are the keeper of your light. And when you treat your energy as sacred, life begins to match your frequency. Not by accident, not by magic, but by mastery. So rise today not just with hope, but with responsibility, with intention, with fire, and let the world feel the real you, fully charged, fully present, fully alive. I am responsible for my energy is not fate, it's leadership. There comes a moment, if you're honest, when you realize this truth. You are either in charge of your energy or your energy is in charge of you. It's easy to blame the weather, easy to blame the people around you, easy to say, I'm just not feeling it today. But real power, the kind that transforms lives, begins when you stop making energy something that happens to you and start making it something you consciously create. So say it and say it with conviction. I am responsible for my energy. I generate it, I protect it, I elevate it. Energy shapes everything. Energy is not just about physical stamina. It's not just about feeling awake. Energy is everything. It determines how you think. It colors the way you speak. It defines how you enter a room, how you carry yourself, how you influence the world around you. Your energy precedes your words and outlasts your actions. People don't remember every detail of what you say, but they always remember how your energy made them feel. So ask yourself, what is the energy I'm choosing to bring into this world today? Because it is a choice. Energy is a leadership skill. When you lead, whether you're leading a business, a family, a creative project, or simply yourself, your energy is your most powerful tool. It's not your resume, not your degree, not even your experience. It's your state. Your capacity to stay grounded when others spiral, your ability to bring optimism into a room clouded with doubt, your resilience when setbacks try to pull you into victimhood. People follow energy more than they follow instructions. And the best leaders in the world in any domain do not leave their energy to chance. They cultivate it, they manage it, they protect it like a sacred flame. The truth, energy is cultivated, not inherited. You are not born with low energy or high energy. That's a myth. Your energy is a reflection of your habits, your mindset, your emotional intelligence, and the environments you allow. The question isn't, how do I get more energy? The question is, how am I draining it? And what will I do differently today? Start here. What thoughts steal your power? What relationships dim your light? What habits leave you exhausted instead of elevated? And then ask, what fuels me? What restores me? What environments, conversations, and rituals help me rise? You must take inventory, not just of your schedule, but of your state. You are the generator. You are not a passive receiver of energy. You are a generator. You build energy every time you move your body, choose nourishing food, breathe intentionally, focus your mind, say no to chaos, do the work your soul was built for. There is no magic to it, but there is discipline. Discipline in thought, in movement, in presence, in what you tolerate. Energy is a byproduct of the way you live. If your lifestyle drains you, your spirit will eventually feel bankrupt, no matter how many coffee cups or vacation days you use to escape. Protecting your peace is a responsibility. You are not being selfish when you say no. You are not being dramatic when you set boundaries. You are being wise. Because peace is not something you stumble into, it's something you protect. That means not answering every message right away, not consuming content that puts you in a spiral, not allowing other people's urgency to become your emergency. It's reminding yourself, I don't owe access to everyone. My peace is not up for negotiation. Protect your peace the same way you'd protect a newborn dream, with tenderness, with vigilance, with fierce love. Your energy is your responsibility, even in chaos. Let's be clear, life will get messy. There will be stress, there will be loss, there will be days when the weight is heavy, but even then, especially then, your energy is still yours to steward. You don't need to be happy all the time. This isn't about toxic positivity. This is about asking, given what's real, how can I show up with strength? How can I breathe instead of breaking? How can I honor my emotions without letting them hijack my clarity? Because energy is not about pretending, it's about presence, and presence is the birthplace of real power. Elevate your state daily. High energy isn't found in a seminar or a sudden breakthrough. It's built daily through small, intentional acts. Morning routines that ground you, movement that wakes you up, water before caffeine, silence before screens, gratitude before complaints, purpose before pressure. You don't rise by accident, you rise by design. And every small decision either lifts your frequency or lowers it. Every ritual either feeds your power or feeds your fatigue. So choose wisely. Raise your vibration, raise your life. There's a reason they say vibe attracts tribe. Your energy draws people, opportunities, clarity, or it repels them. When you vibrate higher, with purpose, with peace, with presence, life begins to mirror that energy. You find people who match your mindset. You see doors open that once felt shut. You respond to challenge not with fear, but with fire. Why? Because you are not hoping for energy. You are embodying it. Say it and live it. Say it now. Say it every morning. Say it when you're tired. Say it when you're tempted to blame the world. I am responsible for my energy. I generate it. I protect it. I elevate it. My state is mine to master. Let it be more than a mantra. Let it become your standard. In closing, energy is not luxury. It is leadership. It is not something you chase. It is something you own. You don't need perfect conditions. You need presence. You don't need to feel inspired. You need alignment. Own your morning. Own your thoughts. Own your rituals. Own what you allow, what you tolerate, and what you cultivate. Because at the end of the day, your energy is your message. So what will yours say? Let it say, I rise with intention. I walk with clarity. I radiate with truth. Because I choose it. Because I create it. Because I am responsible for it. Am becoming the person I admire. Don't wish for it. Become it. You've seen them before. The ones who walk into a room and carry something different. They don't have to speak loudly, yet they're heard. They don't chase attention, yet they command it. Their presence is not about perfection. It's about integrity, clarity, confidence, calm. You admire them, not because they're flawless, but because they're whole. And something inside you whispers, I want to be like that. But here's the truth. You're not meant to wish you were someone else. You're meant to become the version of yourself who evokes the same power, the same presence, the same purpose. Don't envy greatness, emulate it. Don't chase the image, build the character. Say it now and every morning, I am becoming the person I admire. I grow into the best version of myself. I act like the person I aspire to be. Admiration is a mirror. When you look at someone and think, I admire that, understand what's really happening. You are recognizing something inside them that already lives in you. Admiration is your inner potential showing you a reflection of what's possible. You're not drawn to their life by accident. You're drawn because some part of you knows that could be me if I commit, if I grow, if I become. This is not about imitation, it's about activation. Their courage speaks to your hidden courage. Their consistency speaks to your dormant discipline. Their purpose awakens your own. Don't idolize, internalize. The world has too many fans and too few builders. Too many people watching from the sidelines and not enough taking ownership of their own transformation. Stop watching people live the life you want. Start asking, what do they do differently? What do they practice daily? What principles do they live by? Under pressure, not just in comfort, how can I build those traits in my own life? Because admiration without action becomes envy, but admiration with action becomes momentum. Future you is built by present choices. The person you aspire to become, they don't live in the distant future. They live in the decisions you make today. When you choose discipline over delay, when you choose truth over comfort, when you choose growth over ego, when you choose to keep promises to yourself even when no one's watching. Every time you act like the person you want to become, you are that person. Not someday, today. Qualities can be cultivated. We often forget, greatness is not genetic. Confidence is not a birthright. Wisdom is not reserved for the elite. All of it, courage, patience, strength, grace, presence can be cultivated. So instead of saying, I wish I were like them, ask, what would the best version of me do in this moment? What would the future me say, think, or choose? What values do I want to embody no matter the circumstance? And then do it. Not perfectly, but consistently. Your role models are human. The people you admire most, they've doubted, they've failed, they've been insecure, just like you. But the difference is they didn't stop. They chose to keep showing up. And you can too, because success isn't about avoiding imperfection. It's about leaning into progress, even when it's messy. The road to becoming is not linear. Some days you'll feel powerful. Some days you'll question everything, but every day you return to your core truth. I am becoming. I am not stuck. I am not done. Act as if you've heard it before. Fake it till you make it. But let's reframe that. You're not faking anything. You are training. When you stand taller, speak with clarity, keep your promises, treat others with grace, you're not pretending, you're aligning. You are acting as if the best version of you is already here. And the more you act that way, the more it becomes real. Confidence becomes your default. Integrity becomes your compass. Excellence becomes your standard. You don't become someone new, you return to who you were meant to be. Detach from the noise. To become the person you admire, you'll need to detach from what distracts. Let go of the opinions that cloud your truth. Love the path past that tries to define you. Let go of the comfort zone that wants you average. You're not here to blend in. You're here to build the life that reflects your values. To live with alignment even when it's inconvenient. To lead by example even when no one applauds. Because the person you admire, they do hard things. They tell the truth. They keep rising. So must you. Be your own standard. You are not here to mimic others. You're here to design your own definition of greatness. That means asking, what do I value above all else? What do I want to stand for when no one's looking? What kind of energy do I want people to feel when I enter the room? What will my children, my friends, my legacy remember me for? Stop measuring yourself by how far others have gone. Start measuring yourself by how aligned you are with your own values. That's how you become someone worth admiring, not just from the outside, but from within. Say it like you mean it. Let this be your mantra. Say it daily, with fire, with pride. I am becoming the person I admire. I grow into the best version of myself, one choice at a time. I do not wait for greatness. I choose it, I build it, I live it. Say it when you're tempted to give up. Say it when no one's clapping. Say it when it feels slow, because that's where the real becoming happens. In the quiet, in the effort, in the daily decisions no one sees. In closing, the people you admire were not born on mountaintops. They climbed, and so will you. Step by step, choice by choice. Let go of the lie that you're not enough. Let go of the myth that you're too late. You are right on time, and today, right now, you choose to become the person your younger self dreamed of and your future self will be proud of. Not by imitation, by transformation. Not by waiting, by deciding. Not someday. I am a magnet for opportunity. Don't chase greatness, become it. You were not born to chase. You were not designed to beg. You were not put here to plead for someone to see your worth. You were born to radiate value, to embody potential, to become so aligned with purpose that opportunity can't help but find its way to you. So say it out loud, right now. I am a magnet for opportunity. I am aligned with abundance. I welcome challenge and change. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment. You're not demanding from life, you're preparing for it. The myth of chasing success. The world often tells you to chase success, to hustle harder, to grind longer, to run after your dreams. But here's the truth they don't tell you. Opportunity is attracted to movement, not desperation. You don't need to run frantically, knocking on every door. You need to become the kind of person whose presence opens doors. Someone who shows up early. Someone who finishes what they start. Someone who speaks with clarity, who lives with fire, who walks with quiet confidence, because the most powerful people don't chase, they draw in. Life responds to your frequency. Everything you attract, from people to problems to potential, begins with your energy. If you radiate doubt, you'll attract confusion. If you radiate fear, you'll attract resistance. If you radiate clarity, courage, and commitment, life aligns. So don't ask, why aren't doors opening for me? Ask, am I living like someone who's ready to walk through them? Opportunity doesn't knock on just any door. It knocks on the door that's already being built with discipline, vision, and effort. Opportunity comes to the prepared. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You rise to the level of your preparation. Every day you work your craft, you sharpen your skills, you hold yourself to a higher standard. You are not just getting by. You are planting seeds. And the moment the right conditions arrive, boom. What looks like overnight success is simply long preparation, finally meeting the right moment. So stop wondering when your big break will come. Start becoming the kind of person who is undeniable when it does. Attraction is not passive. Being a magnet isn't passive, wishing. It's about positioning. You become magnetic when you show up with enthusiasm, not entitlement. You speak with vision, not vagueness. You act with integrity, but not inconsistency. You move with urgency, not panic. You welcome change, not avoid it. You rise and life meets you at the level of your vibration. This is why some people seem lucky. They're not lucky, they're aligned. Greatness seeks movement. Have you ever noticed that opportunities don't come when you're standing still? They come when you take the leap. You invest the time. You act before you're ready. You stretch beyond comfort. Why? Because motion creates momentum, and momentum is magnetic. The universe rewards movement. So keep moving, even when it's slow, even when no one's watching, even when the progress is invisible, because something powerful is watching, your future. And it doesn't come to the one who waits. It comes to the one who prepares and persists. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is to prepare before the spotlight. So don't wait to be chosen to start acting like you matter. Don't wait for applause to start speaking like a leader. Don't wait for the stage to show up like a professional. Be ready before you're called. Build the muscles before they're needed. Sharpen the mind before it's tested. Refine the message before it's heard. Because when opportunity shows up, you won't have time to get ready. You'll need to already be ready. Your energy introduces you. Before you hand someone your resume, your energy has already spoken. Before you pitch the idea, your presence has already made a statement. Before you say a word, your habits, your posture, your clay all communicate one thing. This person is already living in alignment with success. People don't invest in potential alone. They invest in demonstrated commitment. So let your energy say what your mouth hasn't said yet. I am ready. I don't hope for opportunities. I prepare for them. I don't chase greatness. I grow into it. Abundance is a mental state. To become a magnet for opportunity, you must first believe that there is enough. Enough success, enough resources, enough room for you to rise. Scarcity will make you play small. It'll convince you that other people's success is a threat, not a blueprint. But abundance? Abundance says there's room for all of us, and I'm claiming my space. You don't rise by competing, you rise by aligning with purpose, with principles, with the person you're becoming. Say it until it's true. Let this declaration be more than words. Let it be a reminder of who you are becoming. I am a magnet for opportunity. I show up ready. I welcome challenge. I radiate commitment. I don't wait for perfect conditions. I rise and greatness meets me there. Say it when you feel tired. Sacred, say it when you feel unseen. Say it when you're tempted to give up. Because what you affirm, you amplify, and what you believe, you begin to build. In closing, you don't need to chase what you were born to attract. You don't need to beg for what you've earned through your effort, your mindset, and your discipline. Walk with clarity, act with courage, speak with conviction. And when life sees someone living in alignment, it delivers opportunities, not out of pity, but out of recognition. The world is not looking for more noise, it's looking for those who embody the signal. So embody the signal. Be bold, be clear, be ready. You are a magnet for opportunity, and your time is not coming, it's here. Today, I live with courage. Bravery is not the absence of fear, it's the choice to rise anyway. Courage isn't always what you think it is. It's not just on the battlefield or in the headlines. It's not always a loud roar or a grand gesture. Sometimes courage is something far quieter, far more personal. It's the simple act of showing up. Getting out of bed when everything inside you says stay down, making the phone call that could change your life or heal a wound, saying I love you or I forgive you or I was wrong, facing your truth, starting again. Courage is not about having no fear. It's about acting in spite of fear. And every act of courage, no matter how small, plants a seed of confidence. So say it. Today, I live with courage. Today, I do the brave thing. Courage is a daily decision. Courage doesn't arrive once and stay forever. It must be chosen again and again. It's not a personality trait you're born with. It's a muscle. And like any muscle, it grows with use. Every time you speak, when your voice shakes, you strengthen it. Every time you act despite doubt, you reinforce it. Every time you try after failure, you deepen it. You don't wait for courage to show up, you generate it. And often it begins with something deceptively simple, a choice. What courage really looks like. Courage looks like different things on different days. For the mother waking up exhausted but still giving her best, it's courage. For the artist, daring to create from a place of vulnerability, it's courage. For the student who raises their hand, afraid of being wrong, it's courage. For the entrepreneur who keeps pitching after 100 rejections, it's courage. For the person grieving, yet choosing to smile at a memory, it's courage. For the one facing anxiety, yet stepping out the front door, it's courage. Don't underestimate your own bravery just because it doesn't look like someone else's. The act of showing up for your life is always an act of courage. Fear will always be there. Bring it with you. Let go of the idea that courage means fear disappears. It doesn't. Fear is not your enemy. It's just a signal, an indicator that you're stretching, that you're about to do something meaningful. If it didn't matter, you wouldn't feel afraid. So instead of waiting for fear to leave, start walking with it beside you. Tell it, you don't drive. You can ride in the back seat, but I'm the one holding the wheel today. Fear is natural, but you are not meant to be ruled by it. Courage builds character, one step at a time. You don't wake up one day suddenly fearless. You build character through small, unseen acts of bravery. When you set a boundary, when you ask for help, when you show up without a mask and let people see the real you. These things don't always feel heroic, but they are. They're how you construct the foundation of a confident life. One brick, one decision, one moment at a time. Courage compounds. And with each act, you're not just changing your circumstances, you're transforming who you are. The brave thing isn't always big, it's true. We live in a world obsessed with grand gestures, but some of the most courageous decisions are deeply quiet and unseen. Forgiving someone who never apologized, admitting when you were wrong, walking away from something comfortable but misaligned, starting something when success is not guaranteed. These are not small acts, they are spiritual strength. So ask yourself not what would make me look brave. Ask, what is the next honest step? Then take it. That's real courage. What happens when you choose bravery? Every time you choose courage, something powerful happens. You reclaim agency. You shift your energy. You move from reaction to creation. You send a message to your soul. I trust you. I've got you. And you begin to feel it. Confidence is no longer something you wait for. It becomes a byproduct of action. The more you live courageously, the more you become your own hero. Not because life is perfect, but because you refuse to abandon yourself in hard moments. Speak it into your life. Let this be your declaration, not just today, but every day. Today, I live with courage. Today, I do the brave thing. Even if my hands shake, even if my voice trembles, even if no one else understands, because I understand and I choose to rise. Let your words become a shield. Let your intention become your compass. Let your action become your proof. A brave life is not a comfortable life, it's a meaningful one. Courage doesn't promise comfort, it promises growth, evolution, depth. It will ask more of you. It will test you, but in return, it will give you something nothing else can. A life that feels earned. A life lived on purpose. A life you can be proud of. And when you look back on this day, this moment, this choice, you will not remember how afraid you were. You will remember that you did it anyway. In closing, living with courage is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming who you truly are, without apology, without avoidance, without delay. The brave thing today might be small. That doesn't make it insignificant. It might be unseen. That doesn't make it meaningless. It might be hard. That doesn't make it wrong. So ask yourself, what is the brave thing I must do today? Then do it. Breathe. Begin. Trust, because you were made for this. You don't need more time. You don't need more certainty. You need to step forward just as you are. Today, choose the brave thing. Today, live with courage. You are not ordinary. You were not born to drift. You were not designed to wake, work, worry, and repeat. You are meant to rise, to lead, to shape, to shine. But this transformation does not happen by accident. It happens by intention. Speak these truths aloud, daily, consistently, not just when you feel inspired, but especially when you don't. The repetition rewires your reality. It tunes your mind like an instrument, and soon you'll notice the shift, not just in your results, but in your identity. Because the most powerful transformation does not happen in a moment. It happens every morning. Now stand tall, take a breath, and speak it once more. I am the master of my mind. Today, I choose definite purpose. I am becoming unstoppable. Let the world catch up.